riverfront here at Palatka is also a Bartram site. The Bartrams, John and William, first came by Palatka on Christmas Day in 1765, so December 25th, 1765. They had camped the previous night at Palmetto Bluff, and they rowed their bateau down, or rather upstream, towards Palatka. When they got to Palatka, they went ashore and explored the shoreline right around here. It was probably in this general area, perhaps a little bit further north. They got out and they found the remnants of either an old plantation or an Indian settlement. They weren't sure which, but they got out and surveyed the property a little bit. Then they returned to their bateau and proceeded to row further upstream to Rollstown, where they spent the night of December 25th.
On their way by, it was really interesting to hear William Bartram's account of this. When he came back in 1774, he rode past here, and there was an Indian settlement. And in his writings were a very vivid description of exactly what was here. There were vegetable gardens, there were orange groves, there were about 15 inhabitations, he called them. The elderly women were out laying on blankets, watching the children play in the water, and in one instance he says they were naked up to their hips in the water, shooting frogs with bows and arrows and fishing. And a very vivid description of it. And he said they seemed happy in their situation. And I think that's really, really special. As he came here for his travels later on, before he left town, he came back to Palatka for two occasions. One was because a rattlesnake had taken up residence in the Seminole campment here and was holding the whole Seminole camp hostage, and so they came and got William from Spaulding's lower store and brought him here and made him kill the rattlesnake. And he chopped off the rattlesnake's head, took it home, and it's one of his famous drawings that you see in his travels book of the rattlesnake head. And just days before he left Putnam County, he was invited here by the chief of the Seminoles to enjoy what's called a watermelon feast. And they traveled through the lowlands and the sand hills to here from the lower store by horseback. And he describes a beautiful Indian chickee here, and that's where they had their watermelon feast. After smoking tobacco, they relaxed on the shady Indian chickee and enjoyed watermelons and squash and all kind of nice vegetables, and they seemed happy in their situation. And that's how Mr. Bartram knew Palatka.